Hey guys, Grady here with another Giant Size X-Men Colossal review. Today I'm going to be doing the two that aren't related at all out of the colossals. They don't really have any other relation, as close as the other four do anyway. If you want to see the Sentinels, click over in this region. If you want to see the Nemesis Apocalypse, you can click right there. Oh, there he is. Accidentally picked up the wrong card. So, here we have, like I said, Frost Giant and Onslaught. Probably my two favorites of the Colossals. So I saved the best for last. The Frost Giant is foot symbol, fist, not indomitable, surprisingly. The only one out of all of them. 4 range with, of course, the Colossal damage symbol. He is the other one that has 2 point values, 3 and 100. And then we have Onslaught, who is foot, fist, indom with a trait, 12 range, 3 lightning bolts, and colossal, of course. And he has 4 team abilities. So far, the most of any figure. X-Men, Brotherhood of Mutants, Ultimate X-Men, and Fantastic Four. He is available only at 600 points. So let's go ahead and start with, I believe, the shorter of the two reviews, because he's got less special powers. Frost Giant. And you may have noticed in the Sentinel I didn't really go over keywords at all, because they've only got robot. Frost Giant has several. He's got Asgardian, Brute, Monster, Mystical, and Ruler. Mystical and Ruler apply only if this character begins on a red starting line. So you're going to have to pay that hefty 300 to get the Mystical and the Ruler keywords. So let me go ahead and pop his base off. Because as you guys saw, I prefer the Colossal bases off for the reviews. So, as you can see, he's pretty stout for his point cost, 300 points, but he's 9, 12, 19, 5 with running shot, which is kind of redundant with the 4 range, but, you know, I'll take that. 9, 11, 18, 4 with poison. He loses some stats there. And then he gets his first set of white boxes. The first being Dust of Enchanted Stone. Frost Giant can use Incapacitate as if he had a range value of 8 and 3 lightning bolts. So that means he's got 11 attack with 3 lightning bolts and 8 range with Incap. The second one being Illusionary Might. Frost Giant can use Perplex only to modify an attack, defense, or damage value by plus or minus 2. When the target of Perplex attacks or becomes the target of an attack, before the roll, you roll a d6. On a 1 through 3, the effect from this Perplex ends immediately, which, as you may or may not know, if you take damage or are healed of damage, Perplex ends anyway. So this one has a possibility of ending prematurely. So he's same click pretty well, and then he goes up to Impervious, loses an attack, but Impervious is nice, still has poison. Loses a defense and a damage, but he still got that. He still got that that white box on his damage. So you can be perplexing up his attack, defense, or damage values if need be. And then he loses poison and his white box, gets back to shape change, and then this is where the 100 point cost starts. And this is honestly where I think the fig shines, is in the 100 point format. 8, 11, 17, 4. You know, I was covering the light, so I won't. 8, 11, 17, 3. 8, 10, 16, 3. 8, 10, 16, 3 with Blades Claws and Exploit Weakness. But he goes down to 2 damage and loses charge. But the fact that he goes down to 2 damage doesn't really matter because you're going to be Blades Clawsing. Loses Exploit Weakness, still has the Blades Claws though. And then on those last 2 identical clicks, he gets one of the funnest white boxes I think is in the set, just because it makes him such a powerhouse. Spear Throw. Once per game, Frost Giant can modify his attack and damage values by +3. and then make a ranged combat attack as if he had a range value of 10. So, he's going to throw a spear for 10 squares with 9 attack, or with 12 attack and 5 damage. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. That just absolutely makes him a monster. Just for those last 2 clicks. It's like a haymaker kind of thing. You know, if I'm going down, you're going down with me kind of deal. And you know, you get that for 100 points. Something that you can do, you know, get like Malekith from Hammer Thor or Female Loki or something, and team them up with a bunch of these Frost Giants. Because like I said, they have Asgardian. And it's really mean. So, alright, let's move on to Onslaught, who, like the Sentinels, only has one keyword: armor. He has all those team abilities, but was actually never affiliated with any of them. You can look him up on the wiki, and you can figure out why he's like that. He's actually the combination of a bunch of people's psyches. I really like his sculpt too. He's got Captain America and Mr. Fantastic at his feet. There he is. So we've already went over his base, I think. Yeah. But I'll show it again, just for a reminder. Foot, fist, Indom, 12 range, 3 lightning bolts, fist. Or colossal fist with a trait. So let's see his trait. His trait is Onslaught can't be the target of other characters incapacitate, mind control, psychic blast, or perplex. So that's pretty nice. And he is definitely the thickest. Oh, I'll lie. He has just as many clicks as the Mark V Sentinel. So let's see. He's got Phase TK, Invulnerability, and Shape Change. He goes from TK to Psychic Blast, gains an attack and a damage and a movement. Or not a damage, a defense. And then there he gains another movement. Still has the same kind of stats. And then he gains another attack and a defense with prob control now. And then he gains invulnerability, gets another movement. Invulnerability, impervious. He gains impervious with another movement. And 6 damage now. And then he gets his first white box, which is Reality Warp. Once during your turn, as a free action, choose 2 single base characters within range and line of fire and place them in each other's squares. And that means that you can switch your own figs with other people's figs. So that's pretty nice. And that's that click. And then we have 11, 12, 18, 5. He goes back down, loses phase. 10, 11, 18, 5, and he gains his second white box, which is Xavier's Dark Side. Onslaught can use Outwit. When he uses it to counter a standard power, you may counter all other powers of the same color as the chosen power on all opposing characters within 10 squares and line of fire. Intense. So yeah, that's pretty hefty. 10, 11, 18, 5, 9, 11, 18, 5. So he's sort of steadily going down, same stats, and then he gets back to telekinesis with impervious. Then he gets mind control, loses a defense and a damage. And then he gets perplex, loses his white box, loses telekinesis, but he gains an attack for 1 click and then goes back down. And then he loses a damage and a movement. And now he just went to toughness, so he's still on toughness. And then he gets Pulse Wave and Xavier's Dark Side again, which is the Outwit power. He's still pretty low. And then that's his last click. 12, 14, 27. He gets that. The damage white box is, of course, the Outwit power that he still has. His defense power, on the other hand, is much, much meaner. When turning the dial, stop turning the dial when this click is revealed. When this click is revealed, an opponent may KO characters they control of 100 or more total points. If they do, one of those characters deals Onslaught 1 unavoidable damage. If they don't, Onslaught can use Impervious. This power can't be countered. So he's, like I said, kind of a monster. For 600 points, he's definitely going to be your... Most times, he's going to be your whole team, and you're probably just going to be playing him for fun. But I will almost guarantee he will wreck your opponent's team. You know, you're not going to be playing him on themes, but clearly he is sort of a team player as well with the switching of figs. And he's got TK. There's a lot of these colossals that are team players. You're just not going to be able to put them on theme teams because of their high point cost. So there you have it, guys. I hope you like them. That was the last of my colossal reviews. So tell me what you thought about these guys. Honestly, the Frost Giant is my favorite of the colossals. But they all looked really good. I think they all play pretty well for what they do. So tell me what you guys think. Which ones are your favorites? Have you guys had any good or bad experiences with them as a whole? You know, watch my other videos. Like I said, I'll put a link up for the other ones. And see you guys in the future. Play on.